Hello? Can you all hear me? Let me know if you hear me. So, okay. I was in the middle of doing something. I was editing. I was doing things. I was in the middle of doing things. And suddenly, though everything's just exploding, the world is falling apart. Okay, so it's gone. Roosterteeth is getting shut down. Cal says that they're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow to answer questions. I have a lot of questions. Yeah. I'm trying to get caught up. I've got like a million Twitter responses immediately, and I was trying to read the deadline article to see what was happening. Even Rambo texted me to tell me it's all happening. I can't believe I called it. I did call it. Like, a part of me knew this was happening, but also this is crazy that it's actually happening. And just suddenly on a random Wednesday. Okay, hold on. There's an official statement from Roosterteeth's Discord. Let's see what that says first, because I'm trying to get caught up on all of it. And I got 2 sentences into the deadline article going over it, and I was like, I should live stream because I can already tell it's going to be a lot. So here's the official statement from Roosterteeth's Discord from someone named Chelsea. It says, "Hi everyone. Today I'm coming to y'all." They spelt out y'all. "Today I'm coming to y'all with a pretty tough message, one that I need to read all the way through. You need to read all the way through. At this moment, all Rooster Teeth staff and many contractors are in an all-hands company-wide meeting right now where some very important information is being shared to us. Important information that is now also being shared publicly through press outlets and various community spaces. Please remember something as you begin to read the below message, and definitely before you comment. We, all of us who work at Rooster Teeth, are processing this in real time just like you. Please be mindful that this is on the Rooster Teeth Discord, a place where staff read, interact, and engage with each other and with you. If you have questions, please head to the Rooster Teeth website and leave them on that post. And then there's a link. Thank you for your patience. Continued updates will be posted on roosterteeth.com. Yeah, before I keep going further with this, that's crazy. I can't imagine what the employees at Rooster Teeth must be going through right now. That's so crazy. That's so sad that they could just axe the whole division just out of nowhere, and apparently without even telling them. Oh my god. Oh my god. Continued updates will be posted on roosterteeth.com, but you can also reach out and submit questions or feelings to the support page. We will be hosting a live stream tomorrow, March 7th, 2024 at 4 p.m. CT, which I think is Central Time, on roosterteeth.com, talking about this more. Memo from Jordan Levin below. Conversation in the server should be kept in... it's about the Discord server. Much love, dear Rooster Teeth. Since our founders created and uploaded their first video on the then called World Wide Web in 2003, Rooster Teeth has been a source of creativity, laughter, and lasting innovation in the wildly volatile media industry. Okay. We've read the headlines about industry-wide layoffs and closures, and you've heard me give my perspective and updates on the rapidly changing state of media and entertainment during each of our monthly all-hands meetings. Since inheriting ownership and control of Rooster Teeth from AT&T following its acquisition of Since inheriting ownership and control of Rooster Teeth from AT&T following its acquisition of Time Warner, Warner Bros. Discovery, continued its investment in our company, content, and community. Now, however, it's with a heavy heart I announce that Rooster Teeth is shutting down due to challenges facing Rooster Teeth is shutting down due to challenges facing digital media resulting from fundamental shifts in consumer behavior and monetization across platforms, advertising, and patronage. I read this sentence before. I read that part on Deadline's article, and that was the thing that made me go, I think I need to start live streaming, because that feels so like we're blaming the audience for this. And I don't think that's... It's the way it's worded. Roosterteeth is shutting down due to challenges facing digital media resulting from fundamental shifts in consumer behavior and monetization. It's like breaking down that sentence, it's saying Roosterteeth is shutting down because basically streaming services, because audience expectations with streaming services. I don't know. That, it feels like they're saying we're shutting down because the audiences didn't like our options with streaming services. Right to the very end, Roosterteeth is still blaming the audience base on their monetization troubles. A bunch of other, like, streaming services can flourish with their products and everything. Maybe it's because Roosterteeth's website isn't a good website for streaming on. Like, I've made a video about it before, right? Like, it's very clunky to use, it's bogged down with a million things, finding what you want isn't always easy. Like, no, Roosterteeth, it's not the fundamental shifts in consumer behavior and monetization. It's, I don't know, I was talking about this in stream on Monday when I was watching through volumes 1 and 2. Like, put it on, like, HBO or something. They're owned by Warner Brothers. If you put it on another streaming platform, it could reach more people. Crunchyroll, they tried. The thing is, they tried with Crunchyroll, but RWBY's not an anime, and Crunchyroll is very much full of, like, anime purists. As much as we, like, yeah, RWBY's anime-inspired, but people don't want to go to Crunchyroll for things like that. Like, the usual Crunchyroll crowd isn't going to be watching RWBY, and the usual people who want to watch RWBY are used to seeing it on Roosterteeth's website. Yeah, it's really shutting down. It's actually happening. Yeah, what about Red vs. Blue? That's another, like, Camp is airing episodes right now. Like, it's in the middle of its newest season right now. Like, an episode has aired, and there's certainly going to be a lot more coming out. Okay, so I'm gonna keep moving forward. Please note, the Roost team is not currently impacted by this action, as the Roost Podcast Network will continue operating and fulfilling its obligations while WBD evaluates outside's interest in acquiring this growing asset. Oh no, I was very worried about the Roosterteeth podcasts. All 5 million of their podcasts. Oh, thank goodness. We have many questions to answer in the coming days and weeks, and the opportunity to work together to implement the best way to wind things down for us in our community. We're working through what comes next in real time, and we will be as open, direct, and accessible as possible. Thank you all in advance for your patience and support of one another. I like the idea that they're gonna try to be open and direct. Maybe that could have helped leading into this. It was another thing I was talking about when I streamed on Monday, that they're just radio silence from them. They're not telling us what they've been up to, you know? Like, I don't know what production is happening in Roosterteeth. They don't use any of their websites. That was another thing I tweeted about beforehand. When, like, they don't use their websites or their social media at all, you know? Their Roosterteeth YouTube channel and their Roosterteeth Twitter page has, like, thousands more subscribers and followers than any of their other stuff, but they never used them, to the point that they actually shut down their Twitter page, like, a few months ago entirely. And I was always like, put your trailers on there. Like, I don't know what shows are coming out, because they don't have trailers for their shows on any other platforms. Like, the Roosterteeth YouTube channel has thousands of subscribers, millions of subscribers, more than any of their other channels, by far. And they don't advertise any of their products. None of their crazy podcasts, not RWBY, new seasons, not Camp, not Red vs. Blue, not Stinky Dragon, which is their other big thing that they've been working on lately, I guess. They just don't advertise their stuff. And they axed Achievement Hunter to have Dog Bark become a thing, and very quickly Dog Bark just became New Achievement Hunter. Like, they don't, like, they advertise themselves as, like, the improv comedy sketch group, but if you look at their YouTube channel, there's, like, one or two improv things, but it's mostly just Let's Play stuff. It's just Achievement Hunter again, but under new branding. Way worse branding. Why would you sacrifice 10 years worth of brand recognition with Achievement Hunter just to call it something way less memorable or noticeable? It makes no sense to me. And they sit there, so it's not the fundamental shift of consumerism with monetization and whatever. It's, they don't know how to market their products at all. And when they have great products, like RWBY, great products, great show, everyone loves it. And then they crap out the worst merch for it. Of course no one's giving you, like, you are selling me a product. It's not a fundamental shift in streaming services or whatever. It's, you are trying to sell a product, but you are doing a bad job, like, providing things for that product that consumers are gonna want to give you money over. Like, I want to give Roosterteeth money, but all their shirts are ugly. All of their merch items are ugly and lazy looking. You know, I want to buy their DVDs and Blu-rays, but their DVDs and Blu-rays have nothing on there that I can't already find on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Femtanga. RWBY is now dead, as the new RWBY season is up in the air. Is RWBY dead? That's the scary thing. I want RWBY to continue. I want to see how it's supposed to end. Supposedly it could go indie or get picked up by something else, but I don't know. Everything's so up in the air now. You know? This is crazy. This is crazy. And overpriced. I'm fine with it being overpriced, because of course it gets overpriced. Because they can't sell any merch because it all looks like crap. So if the people who are dedicated enough to buy their ugly new t-shirts do actually decide to get one, they have to overprice it to, like, make it worthwhile at that point. But also, like, RWBY has so much potential that they could be doing merch-wise, and they do, like, the lamest things. Like, remember their tiki cups? That was a terrible idea. They have, like, decorative fans. Why? Like, it's just make plush of all the characters. They're trying to do that, but they also picked two of the most boring characters. Like, as much as I love Oscar, and Ozpin's fine, they're not a fan favorite, and apparently Raven won the poll anyway. I didn't know about this poll, I didn't care, but apparently Raven won the poll for the plushies, but they're not making a Raven plushie? Like, that's, the people are literally sitting there telling you. They're so connected to their audience. They're so connected to, like, YouTube and Twitter, and they're so connected to their audience, and their audience can sit there and tell them exactly what they want to see, exactly what they want to buy, but they just ignore them. And they just ignore it, like, they sit there and say, I want the Raven plush, and then they go, oh, okay, here's the farm boy. It's like, but we tell you these merch items look ugly. We tell them that the tiny rectangle images on the t-shirts is an ugly choice, and we tell them that we don't want that as a consumer. Not only just by looking at their wallets can they make that, like, that conclusion, but we are actively telling them. We are one of the most vocal communities who are, like, so directly connected with the company, and they still just ignore it. Like, of course, it's not a shift in monetization and whatever, a shift in platforms and whatnot. That's just you shifting the blame, because you can't admit the fact that you've been dropping the ball when we've been telling you what to be doing this whole time. Okay. Let me continue on, there's more to read here. Let's take a moment to celebrate our 21-year contribution to the zeitgeist, advancing creativity and outlasting many of our peers from the early days of online video and digital-first content. I know, you didn't outlast them, you bought them out. But whatever. From a garage in Buda, Texas to global screens large and small, our team of dreamers and doers have introduced and grown what made Roosterteeth stand out. Animation, comedy, and gaming. From new forms of animated comedy with machinima to countless viral memes, including the immortal snail, aka Snail Assassin. This is what? Like... Okay, pat yourselves on the back however you need to, but I don't know, whatever. To a US-born animated series embraced by Japan as anime. God, the self-aggrandizing. Japan thinks it's a real anime. And thank you, ZXCAS? Thank you. Someone buys RWBY, but they reset the whole series. I know. Go back to the beginning. Let's do Beacon again. Thank you, Messiah. Do you think WB will sell off parts of RT or just bury the shows? I don't know, because that's the thing. Warner Brothers is, like, now known for making the dumbest decisions known to man. Hey, this Batwoman movie is basically done. And it has Brandon Fraser in it. And Brandon Fraser, at this point in time, is, like, really popping off with popularity. You know what we should do? Destroy the whole thing. What's that? Everyone's begging for Coyote versus Acme to come out and be released. You know what we should do? Get rid of it entirely. So I don't know. Thank you, Carter. I'd give RT/RWBY money, but it's kind of hard when basically everyone producing it is under some criminal investigation and abuses their employees. That's another thing. There is so much stank around Roosterteeth. Like, I want to give the RWBY money, but I don't want Roosterteeth to have it. Thank you, JK. Why do people want a RWBY reboot? Ice Queendom was basically that, and look how that turned out. Just finish what you have. Not rebooting and wasting time. I totally agree. Like, that's what the manga, every single manga has done that too. I think it's because there's something so nostalgic and charming. The love of OG RWBY back in the day. Because, like, but I do really want to see how it's supposed to finish, you know? I'm sure we'll go back and reboot it eventually, but I want to see this end of the story, not just being left off wandering into Vacuo. All I ever wanted to see was Vacuo. Spam call, robocall. Okay. What were we saying? Yeah. A US-born animated series embraced by Japan as anime, and record-breaking, parenthesis, at the time, crowd-funded movies. Thank you, William. First-time caller, long-time RT fan. This is a surreal day. Thanks for making a space here where everyone can chat about it. Because what a whirlwind. I know. Oh my god. Because, like, I knew I wasn't going to be able to, like, keep my thoughts together enough. Like, I tweeted, I saw the news, I tweeted, and then immediately I had, like, 20-plus comments on Twitter. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to keep up with it. People are gonna be asking me my thoughts. I'm sure everyone else is gonna be, like, trying to churn out their thoughts, like, get everything in order. Yeah. Record-breaking at the time, crowdfunded movies. You've accomplished so much and made dreams come true. You've turned original IP into video games, comic books, and VTubers. God, it just feels like they don't know how to... Thank you, Perry! Damn, another legacy channel biting the dust. 2024 gonna be none of all the OGs leaving or worse. Rest in piss. I know. It's crazy. We're only in March. It's March! And what is happening? Oh, thank you, Ranger. Thank you, Ranger. Yeah, like, these are weird things for them to be sitting there being like, this is our legacy, a snail meme. And I'm like, the assassin snail is a thing, but I don't know. Thank you, Goldeneye. The Goldeneye Fox, that's a beautiful name. The I have to finish my story mentality. You scrolled by too fast. Oh no. Hold on. I do understand they, like, finish the story. That's the thing that's been keeping me around this whole time, you know? You scrolled by too fast. I can't. I'm trying to keep up. But yeah, thank you, Duke the Luke. I still find it odd that they said it costs, I think, $30,000 per minute of RWBY animation. Sounds like more of an issue with financial management to me. I don't know enough about financing to, like, totally get that. Like, maybe that's true. I do know animation costs a lot, but I don't know, like how... that could be totally, like, the thing. I'm not sure, though. I guess some people said that sounds accurate, so I guess I have to take their word for it, but I'm not sure. Thank you, Blake. Mega64 shows how you do it. Small crew that makes what they want, never sold out, just past the 22nd anniversary. Did they? I never got into Mega64. But, like, good for them. It's not easy doing it that way, you know? That's like, because being small and doing what you want isn't always a guarantee, but I'm glad they were able to do it. Good for them. Good for them. I was saying something? Yeah. Like, the things they're sitting here as they're, like, the legacy they're leaving behind, and it's, like, the snail meme, and then you've turned things into games, comic books, and VTubers. They say, like, VTubers are pretty common. They're kind of all over the place. Thank you, Midnight. Honestly, I don't want a reboot, but I wish they fix and flesh out stuff that's already established. Yeah, that's the thing. Because another reboot, I want to see more Oscar. I want Oscar. Oscar has no characterization, and they're never gonna get there if they just reboot it again a million times. You know, there's the elements that need fleshing out are past Volume 3, and they never get there if they keep rebooting it. Thank you, Marcos Miller. Let's get all the RWBY fan-made trailer animators and come together to do it ourselves, just like Dust Queen. That's one thing that we still have strong as a community, as a fan base, is RWBY's fan works are getting more and more impressive. We're really popping off in the, like, fan-made, like, there always was, like, fan-made trailers, like the Dark, like Team Dark trailers, Team Silver trailers, things like that. But now we're really we're getting, like, full animated sequences and stuff, like with Dust Queen. We have Evermorrow happening. Everyone's like, we're really doing it. I'll just thank you, Trench. That was nice. Thank you. Like, we're really doing it now, and I think nowadays we're really ramping up with the RWBY fan-made content, and that's really fun. Thank you, JK. Busy Pop better take notes and learn from this. I know. I heard they got similar issues, but not sure. At least they have A24. Maybe A24 could pick up RWBY, you know? Thank you, Cade. Thank you for letting us know about this. As someone who watched the show again pretty recently, and finally caught up to volumes 8 and 9, this is honestly a tough pill to swallow. I know! Like, my first thought was like, I'm right now doing, like, a monthly scheduled live stream to rewatch all of RWBY. It was gonna be this whole thing, and I was like, maybe this will help give them the last push they need. Man, thank you, M3D. Honestly, I think a professional level fancom is possible, unlike a full show. Maybe. Thank you, Nikolai. You missed my super chat, Sag. I'm sorry. It's all moving so fast. I can't get my computer to move fast enough. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, but I really appreciate you. It's all just happening. It's all just too much happening. Like, all of it. This is, oh my god. I can't even process my thoughts. I'm not even like a part of me feels like I passed out and I'm not actually speaking right now, you know? I'm like overwhelmed. It's crazy. And maybe A24. You know, A24 picks up weird shit all the time, you know? That's what they do as a company. That's why they're my favorite company. So they could do that. The thing is, I don't know what's gonna happen, because who owns the IP? Because if Warner Brothers owns it, then it's out of, like, our hands, really. It's gonna be up to them. And with Warner Brothers' amazing track record of late, I don't think they'll probably just ignore it and throw it to the wayside. But if, like, we get the IP, like someone, like, I don't know, Eddie or Miles or someone, if they get the IP themselves. Thank you, Ranger. I'm gonna try this again, since I could not go this high before. I did not grow up— wow, thank you! I did not grow up with RT, so as an outsider who first really knew of them through RWBY, they seem to have chosen the cheap option to me. Thank you so much for 100? That's crazy. You don't need to do that. That's crazy. Thank you. I wouldn't call it the cheap option. I'll call it the scrappy option. Especially, like, especially when you look at their earlier stuff, they were just doing things. And you could tell that they were just doing things that they wanted to do to have fun, you know? Like, they had a lot of shorts, like, live-action comedy skits. They were a big innovator with that. They were always doing something different. You could tell they were just guys who wanted to tell a story. You know, that's where they started with Red vs. Blue. They were machinimating. Machinima is just, you're playing pretend with video game characters. It's like you're playing with dolls, but instead of holding your dolls and flapping them around, you move your little video game dudes around. I used to do that growing up. I would play pretend with video games. They just did it and had recording devices and microphones, and the storytellers are going to tell stories no matter what. That's the thing. But RWBY was the thing that really popped off. You know, that's where they started really getting their names, their recognition, their money, their fame. And that's why there's, like, this thing of, like, oh, we have a VTuber. I would praise other elements of Rooster Teeth other than just the snail meme and a VTuber existing. Thank you again, Nikolai. TLDR, it was Reboot RWBY as game, not anime. I totally get that. I've always wanted a much more extensive RWBY game because it's such a good world to, like, work with, you know? There's so many comments, I can't keep up with them all on like, Twitter. Okay, so there was a Deadline article I wanted to read. So, because I was starting to read it initially, and then I saw that initial comment, and I was like, I want to see what the rest of this has to say. So let's start reading through this Deadline article. Deadline, it tends to keep up to date with news and information in the media sphere. So let's see what they got to say. Okay. A pioneer in digital content creation is going away. Roosterteeth, a subsidiary of Warner Bros. Discovery, global streaming and interactive entertainment, announces this morning that it's ceasing operations after 21 years. That's crazy, because I saw just Deadline tweet about it. And I started rushing to Rooster Teeth's Twitter, even though I know it's deactivated. Like, they don't do it anymore. I went to Rooster Teeth's Twitter, I went to RWBY's Twitter, I went to Rooster Teeth's YouTube channel, and I went to my email, because I had, like, community emails from them coming in, from, like, an account I made years and years ago. I didn't see information on any of them. It was from Deadline that I first got this information. So it's crazy. They didn't even get the chance to announce it themselves first. At least not publicly. The news was announced at an all-hands company meeting and shared in an internal memo by Rooster Teeth's general manager, Jordan Levin. Thank you, Carter. WB owns RWBY. They can't even sell a Looney Tunes film, and I don't see Miles Carey/Eddie being able to buy it themselves, given popularity in Japan, too much money, best case, finish it as a comic like Final Space. That would be such a sad way to finish it, though. You know? Like a comic or a book or something. I know Warner Bros. Owns it. I just don't want them to. I think indie would be a good option for them. I don't know, man. Maybe if Miles, Carey, and Eddie do a really big Kickstarter to get the money to buy the IP back from Warner Brothers. I don't know. Maybe RWBY will continue production, just not under the Rooster Teeth label. Maybe they're just getting rid of the name Rooster Teeth, but they're still keeping the production element. Alright, let me keep reading this article to see what we got going on. And then it's that quote that I saw earlier. This is where I saw it. With a heavy heart, I announce that Rooster Teeth is shutting down due to challenges facing digital media, resulting from fundamental shifts in consumer behavior and monetization across platforms. Thank you again, Nikolai. I need to kiss Ozpin, please, please, please. You can get that plushie from Makeship. Maybe. Are they still gonna finish making those plushies? If they get fully funded? Who knows? The Roost podcast network will remain in operation while Yep. There's Rooster Teeth branded... Okay, I read up to this section, and I stopped, because it says something that I wasn't expecting. There's Rooster Teeth branded content in the WBD pipeline, which will also stay put, including a movie that will be released by Warner Bros. Home Entertainment. What movie? I can't think of a single movie that they're producing, like Rooster Teeth is working on. I can't, that's weird. That sentence threw me for a second. I'm like, what movie is in the pipeline? Unless they meant the Justice League crossover, but that's already been released by now. Thank you, Melly. Thank you, Melly Red. I figured this would happen, just not soon, though. It's crazy, because I remember I predicted 5 years. When my, I think it was last year, when I did my What Ruined RWBY video. I predicted it'd be like 5 years, and it was either last year or the year before. And yeah, I knew, I suspected, but it is still a shock. I figured it would be more obvious of a decline. Like, yeah, they were obviously declining. I was actually, I was DMing Cal on Twitter this morning, and we were talking about, we mentioned how Roosterteeth has been struggling a little bit lately, and it's just crazy that it all happened right now. Oh my god. Okay, continuing on with this article. WBD will also be exploring options for Roosterteeth's catalog content and IP, such as Red vs. Blue, RWBY, and Genlock. So Warner Brothers was really in charge with Genlock Season 2, and that was one of the most, like, absolute garbage trash fire shows I've ever seen. I didn't finish it. I fully intended to make a second review to cover the second season, and I tried watching the episodes as they were coming out. Thank you, Adam. Adam, a man. Honestly, it's a shame, but expected. Yeah, it's like, that's what hurts the most. It's like, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. Thank you, Stereotype. Thank you, Stereotype Gamer. RWBY goes in the Warner Bros. vault with Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. RWBY Rose would love being around Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Weiss, Blake, and Yang would hate it. Yeah, Genlock, it was so bad. I don't know, like, of all the IP, Red vs. Blue, RWBY, and Genlock, I can understand, like, name-dropping RVB and RWBY, because they are bigger names, but wasn't RVB ending? Like, this last season was gonna be its last season. Thank you, Ranger. That's so much. Thank you so much. Oh god, the last RWBY content was the Justice League crossover. Oh, no, it can't end with that. Oh, no. No! Like, this last season of RWBY that's been announced, like, we're still waiting for it. There was no announced, like, release date, which is another thing Rooster Teeth has been doing that has pissed me off, is they'll announce something, but there'll be no date, you know, that it's coming out. Like, even, like, when there was, a timeline for when RWBY's Justice League crossover, the second part, was going to be released. We knew the date, but everything they tweeted out didn't tell us the date. Like, the only reason I knew it was because I saw it, like, on some other article somewhere else, and it's like, it wasn't even in the description of the trailer or anything. And it's like, why announce something, but then not tell everyone when they'll be able to watch it? And even then, like, when it did release on HBO, I found it on HBO, because I just went to check to watch something else, and it was there. And nothing had announced that it was coming out on HBO Max for streaming at any point in time. You know? Like, it wasn't like, oh, it's gonna be on streaming on this day, get ready to watch it streaming on Max this day. They didn't do any of that. And after I had to tweet out and be like, it's available now, and then, like, a day after I tweeted that, that's when I finally saw RWBY's official Twitter being like, oh, you can watch it on Max. And you could tell it was like a half-assed rush tweet, because they reused a GIF of Blake that they had used for Blake's birthday, and during, like, a tweet announcing Blake's birthday. Like, they clearly wasn't ready to announce that it was streaming. So it's not, like, a consumer shift in monetization and, like, streaming services and whatnot. Like, they just don't know how to market themselves. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Walter. Honestly, I hope someone else buys RWBY. I want to see how they end the conflict with Salem, but also want to see some more of Jean trying to get readjusted to normal time after the Ever After. Yeah, that's the thing. I totally agree. Where they're at, story-wise, is very interesting, and there's a lot of potential. In capable writers' hand, we have a lot of really neat things to explore, with RWBY's further development emotionally after everything that's happened to the Ever After. Jean has gone through a lot, and he's probably going to be going through his own emotional turbulence. Blake and Yang, now that they are officially dating. Weiss has a lot of, like, turmoil inside of her over the fall of Atlas. So, emotionally, character-wise, there's a lot of potential for where they could be going here. But I don't expect Roosterteeth's writers to handle any of those topics. Their big idea was, oh, the topic of RWBY hearing about what happened with Penny, that conversation will happen off screen. So, I don't know. But yeah, under other writers' supervision, they could actually maybe touch on those topics. But it's not a guarantee. Because RWBY's so complicating. Who's gonna want to take up the mantle of trying to write RWBY now? I'll do it. Screw it. Get me and Celtic Phoenix, and we'll do it. Get Twilight Guardian. We'll write. We'll do it. Why not? Let me continue writing this Deadline article. Founded in 2003 by Bernie Mearns, Matt Hullum, Jeff Ramsey, Jason Saldana, Gus Sorolla, and Joel Heyman, Roosterteeth went through a series of ownerships. Thank you, Messiah. Oh fuck, Death Battle could be gone too. I know, and Death Battle was doing amazingly. And they just lost all their because I was saying, all their animators' contracts ran up recently, like a couple of months ago. And we haven't had any information about them being, like, rehired or anything, and now I guess we know why. But that sucks, because Death Battle was doing so good. Fat Man falling. Roosterteeth went through a series of owners, including Fullscreen with Otter Media, becoming part of WBD following the acquisition of Time Warner from AT&T. Levin noted that Thank you, Elevate! Oh, I should donate. Your Ironwood and RWBY heroes are bad videos are certified bangers. Thank you. Thank you. Big Zan Productions, thank you so much. I hope that everyone working on RWBY stays on the show. The last thing I want is for Warner Brothers to throw in some random A-list writer or director. I'd be fine with, like, shaking up, like, adding two, like, having more new writers and directors coming onto the project, I think is fine. But I would hope they kept Miles Carey, Eddie Kiersey around, too. And all the directors, I don't remember their names off the top of my head, like Paula, Connor, Issa. Paula might not be one of them. I would be fine with them sticking around if they want to stick around, but I also feel like more eyes could help. Thank you, Washington. I feel like Death Battle will be easier to sell since it's more profitable than RWBY. Yeah. Also, I don't know if Warner Brothers owns Death Battle. I know it's I don't know if they own Death Battle. I'm not sure. They might. I'm not too knowledgeable on Death Battle, so don't, like, take my word for it. I could be wrong. Levin noted that Oh, well, thank you, Robert. Thank you, just for that. Thank you. WDB noted, continued its investment in our company, content, and community following the merger. WBD also continued the Roosterteeth Digital Creators Program intended to support underrepresented talent, which had been launched by Warner Media. I've never heard of this before. So, I mean, good for them. Thank you, Adam Man again. You two write RWBY and Cake Station animates it. Just Cake Station. Not any of the other, like, really, like, AK Motion. Everyone was talking about, thank you, Jay Sapphire? Yeah, Jay Sapphire 69. I could see Bernie Burns buying RWBY. He could, I mean, he has all that money. Sell his ugly Tesla and buy RWBY back, you know? Yeah, like, AK Motions also helped animate the Invincible Girl. It wasn't just Cake Station. I hope people know that. It's on Cake Station's channel, but there were multiple animators working on it, you know? Thank you, Zavin? Thank you. Now hear me out, gang. RWBY but Persona? Don't tempt me with a good time. I'm so on board with that idea, like 1,000%. Thank you, Walter Thomas again. Honestly, my biggest hope for RWBY would have been one last fight between Jean and Cinder, because I'm sorry, Rui should deal with Salem, and Junior should deal with Cinder, but that's just me. I agree, because also then, like, Juniper gets their revenge for Cinder killing Pyrrha. Like, that makes sense to me, you know? Have Nora become the Fall Maiden. Nora should be a maiden because Nora's best girl. In an effort to boost revenue by moving consumers to a sponsorship model, Roosterteeth last fall relocated its content from YouTube to its own website. Thank you, The Rexorus? I feel like I pronounced it wrong. Shout out to all the fanfic writers in the fandom. Yes. Fan stories. Keeping the show alive. That's what we do. Get all those fun ideas and put them online. Especially now, if it is all over, we all need to be way more kind to our fanfic writer friends, because they're going to be the only thing keeping RWBY afloat from this point on. Crunchyroll purchases RWBY IP. I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Crunchyroll's, own productions have had mixed reviews, you know? Yeah, in an effort to boost revenue by moving consumers to a sponsorship model, Roosterteeth last fall relocated its content from YouTube to its own website. A potential sale of the company also was explored, but many of the companies that had been interested in the brand are no longer in business, as the digital entertainment space has been undergoing an unprecedented upheaval. I guess. The only thing I heard, I didn't hear any rumors about other people potentially buying Roosterteeth's brand. Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you, Dimitri. I've never heard any rumors about other people potentially buying Roosterteeth's brand. I did hear rumors about people buying Warner Brothers, though. Like the potential, Warner Brothers and Paramount merger? Like that was, rumors floating around, but they ended up not going with that deal. It might not have been Paramount. So, yeah, it just sounds like shifting blame, you know? I don't think I think they shouldn't have taken all their content off of YouTube, because that's how people knew them. That was the big thing, was people knew them for their content being on YouTube. I was talking about this on Monday, too. The show Taskmaster, which is a British comedy show. It's incredibly hilarious. Watch it, and you can watch it. Thank you again, Walter. RWBY got me into writing my own fanfictions. I know one of my ideas was one where Neapolitan got adopted by Summer and Ty, but put it off to think of other ideas. That's a great idea. Honestly, more Neo having good normal life is such a good topic. But what was I just saying? Oh yeah, Taskmaster. It's a British comedy show. It's really hilarious. I highly recommend you watch it. It has 17 seasons now or something like that. And you can watch it right now for free. All of it, the entire show, for free right now on YouTube. They put all of their episodes on their own official YouTube channel. And I don't know exactly why. I theorize people were probably pirating the shows and then just posting them onto YouTube, because they are funny and people like posting clips and compilations and stuff like that. And I bet the people over at Taskmaster was like, rather than lose out on these views and potential revenue by having other people post our episodes on YouTube, what if we just do it ourselves? And I think that's a great business model. And because this is the thing, the shifting thoughts about consumerism is kind of true, I guess, but the thing is the thing companies aren't thinking about. People want to watch their shows, and pirating is very easy. It is incredibly easy to pirate content. So easy. And you will never be able to stop them. You will never be able to stop all of the pirating stuff. So the best solution to combat how easy it is to pirate things is to just make it as easy for your viewer to watch it at a place where you can still get that revenue. You know, rather than having some pirate site with ads make money off of you. Thank you, Whoop to Whoop. Thanks, Whoop to Whoop. Rather than have some pirate site get money off of posting your episodes there for people to watch, because people are going to watch it. Because it's so easy to pirate it. Rather than do that, make it that easy for people to watch your show on your own things. And I get, sponsorships and, sponsorship deals and whatever. There's things, having a paywall for things is an option. Thank you, Sky Slasher. So now, you think they'll can everything? I don't know. Because on one hand, RWBY is a moneymaker. But on the other hand, Roosterteeth's not making money. So having a paywall is going to just entice people to pirate the show. I think Rooster Teeth's original model of having it be first, like having the first membership so they get it, and then the week later, if you just have a normal membership with them, like a not paid membership, then you get the episode. That was their best model, 100%. And then you have ads in there, that's fine, that makes sense. I don't know why they never got a Patreon, or like got sponsorship deals, you know? Because I think about, thank you, again, whoop de whoop, what does this mean for BB Tag? I don't know. I never played it. I don't know if they're even making more games or anything. Thank you, Midnight Rant. RT shifting blame, meanwhile, Dropout TV thrives. Yeah. Yes, Dropout's a great example of it. Dropout's doing amazing. They're the ones behind, like, Dimension 20, and all of their content, at the, like, game show one, I don't remember what it's called, several different game show one, like, actually, they're doing amazing. They're doing what Rooster Teeth should be doing, and it sucks. It sucks to see. Oh my god, it's so overwhelming just thinking about all of it. I don't understand why Rooster Teeth never got, like, sponsorships, like Ray-Ban sponsorships, or, like, a Patreon. Thank you, Cardcaptor17! That's a great name. My Adam fanfiction is now okay. Yay! Yeah! I don't know why they never got sponsorships or Patreon. Because, like, you sit there and think, oh, well, it's a company. But other companies do that, too. Like, Watcher? You know, the people who do, like Ghost Files, like like Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej, you know, they have sponsorships all the time. The Try Guys, they have sponsorships all the time. They have a Patreon. Game Grumps, they have sponsorships and they have a Patreon. And they're all companies. Like, they all are, like, company holders, and they still have, like, the Patreon thing, and they do the sponsorships thing. Rooster Teeth never picked up that model. And I think that's what really shot themselves in the foot. I think, like, now they might have a Patreon. They have a Discord, so there's that. I don't, like, as the internet marketability world moved, Rooster Teeth never seemed to understand they needed to move with it. Like, their idea of, like, moving with it was having RWBY be a VTuber now. Well, it's not a terrible idea. One... God. I don't know why they went with the model they did. Like, it's a fine VTuber model, I guess, but she has a 3D model. Just put her 3D... Like, people work to get 3D models of their VTubers. Thank you, Mark Gar. Thank you, Mark. How will this affect the trout population? I think the trout's gonna be fine. They're gonna... trout population greatly affected by Rooster Teeth. Yeah, Ruby's a VTuber now. And, like, every VTuber I've seen and watched, like Hololive or whatever. Thank you, Anton. Just got here. What the fuck happened? Also, everyone hydrate and thumbs up the stream. Yes. Thank you. Yes. All of that. Yeah, Rooster Teeth, it's Dunzo. It's Dunzo gone. What was I saying? Yeah, they have RWBY's a VTuber now. And, like, every VTuber I know, their big thing is they want to get a 3D model. And RWBY has a 3D model, but they don't use it for her VTubing. They don't market the VTubing thing either. This pisses me off. They don't market any of their products. Like, RWBY was doing it. And they didn't announce that she was going onto Twitch. They don't announce what her schedule is, ever. They don't announce what she's playing. They don't announce what she's doing. They don't even have, like, links to her, like Twitch thing anywhere. And so it's like, no wonder it's not making the money you need it to. No one knows it exists. They had, like, some trailers on, like, the Rooster Teeth animation site, but they weren't VTubing trailers. Like, they weren't clips of her VTubing. It was the VTuber model talking, but there's no announcement of, like, they announced once that she was going to be doing things, like, live streaming on Twitch. But they did it once, and it was painted like a birthday event. And then she had, post your schedule! Thank you, Gunner. What worries me now is content preservation. Yes, Sky Slasher. Thank you so much. Warner does not own Death Battle. RT just helped distribute and produce the show. Okay, Death Battle I think can totally keep going. Thank you, Turtle Duck. The trout population is in shambles. Damn. For content preservation, I've recorded every episode of RWBY. I have it all on my computer right now. RWBY will be fine. RWBY will live. If I need to, I will figure out ways to redistribute RWBY. I have all of it. Some of their other shows, I don't know. Like, I'm sure people have Red vs. Blue saved somewhere. It was popular enough. But things like Camp, I have no idea. You know? And, like, even RWBY's, like, spin-off material. I haven't saved any of, World of Remnant or anything like that. I didn't keep my footage of RWBY Fairy Tales, you know? So, I don't know how it's all gonna work out. I guess World of Remnant is on YouTube. They wouldn't get rid of the stuff that's on YouTube, right? I mean, well, you think that, and yet they axed all their shows off of YouTube. Gonna miss RWBY's music? Yes. Insert creative name here. I think the things like the soundtrack, like, on that note, well, the soundtrack, they wouldn't get rid of it, right? Like, they wouldn't just get rid of their soundtracks off of Spotify, right? Now, I don't... Thank you, Fire Rose. Man, can't believe it. This has been a dream. It started to go down in quality, but man, really wanted to see old John's story arc. RIP VTuber RWBY. Yeah. I don't... will she even be able to keep VTubing now? Like, I don't... Like, because the IP isn't dead. Just Roosterteeth is shut down. The shows still exist. Is Warner Brothers going to want to keep letting Lindsay do VTubing with a RWBY model? Like, or is that going to be something they're going to try to be like, we don't care, we don't want to do that, get rid of it? I don't know why they would, but also Warner Brothers is weird and dumb. Thank you, Washington. The Trouts are done for, but how would this affect LeBron's legacy? Nothing can tarnish LeBron's legacy, I think. Was there more to this article? I'm sure there was. Let's keep reading. Quote, monetization shifts, platform algorithms, advertising challenges, and the ebb and flow of patronage. All these converging factors have led to many closures in the industry, Levin noted in his memo. After exploring other options, WBD went for a shutdown. Warner Bros. Discovery thanks Rooster Teeth's groundbreaking creators and partners and the strong management team for their many years of success, end quote. The company said in a statement, your passionate and loyal fans are testaments to your achievements. In his memo, Levin spotlighted the legacy of Rooster Teeth. Quote, We set a standard for what digital-first brand could be, he said. We boldly took our content beyond screens and into community-driven experiences. Thank you, high-powered. That feel when may be free from doing a RWBY podcast when it comes out? I don't know. I take 1 million RWBY podcasts over not getting to see the end of RWBY. I do agree with what Levin's saying here. The quote, we boldly took our content beyond screens and into community-driven experiences. It's a bit fanciful sounding, but he is right. I assume, they. Thank you, Dante. Dante the fan. Clearly, Amity Arena's shutting down caused this. I know. It started with an app game, and now here we are. No, I think it was when RTX was canceled this year. I think we all kind of knew it was, dunzo at this point. Because Rooster Teeth was always so connected to its fan base for so long. And RTX was, the main way of doing that. And then canceling it, I think, was the death knell for RWBY. And Rooster Teeth, that's the thing. It's not RWBY. It's not like RWBY is canceled. We don't know what's happening with RWBY right now. I guess we'll be getting a live stream tomorrow to talk about it. But Rooster Teeth is gone. Let me just see if there's anything here. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Here's the memo. I was reading it before. Here's the second part that I couldn't find. Cause where it left off. Like, you've turned original IP into video game, comic books, and VTubers. You've directed short videos, mocap, and film. You've puppeteered, hosted podcasts, and have built a thriving community that spans the globe. Your creativity knows no bounds, and you'll continue contributing significantly to culture wherever your paths may take you. That's actually super sweet. Like that is nice. Like, whether or not Rooster Teeth exists, the people that made that content will continue to make content. And that's, like, I hope they continue to make amazing stuff wherever they can find the job for it. Because, like, it's not easy doing the things they've done. Thank you, James. I honestly felt like this was coming at some point. Thank you for being such a consistent source of RWBY content. I try. I do. I think about RWBY constantly. When I wake up in the middle of the night, when I wake up in the middle of the night and I get up to, like, get water or go pee or whatever, the mantra that plays in my head is just RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang. It's just their names on repeat. Like, I think about RWBY all the time. Thank you, Anthony. So RWBY is destined not to finish. First, Monty's death ended his original vision. Now this shutdown and possible cancellation can't catch a break. I mean, it could finish. It could happen. The show's not over. It could get picked up. It could get finished somewhere else. It's just Rooster Teeth is gone. I wouldn't go doom and gloom right off the bat. There could be hope and potential. We don't have all the answers to that yet. Thank you, Inferno. Hopefully Celtic Phoenix can continue the show in his Fixing RWBY series and hopefully give us some kind of satisfactory ending. Totally agree. I'm on the Sketchy Huntsman. I'll continue to work hard, whatever he ends up deciding to do, however this is going to end up playing out. Like, I remember he said before, like, even if RWBY never gets a Volume 10, he will get to the ending of RWBY one way or another. I remember him saying something along those lines. So yeah, it sucks. I really hope the people who worked hard to make the content at Rooster Teeth can thrive further, can get more jobs that help them continue to thrive and make amazing content. Okay, here's the next part. This is titled, To Those Who Come First. Despite passing through many corporate owners, Rooster Teeth transacted a media business and was a dynamic movement that shaped the bond between communities, creators, and storytelling. Our founders didn't have a blueprint for a media empire, but they got close to building one alongside a community that fueled its remarkable growth. There's just so much grandstanding. And, like, I get the point of using such flowery language, but golly gee. It's just like, bring it down to normal, man. Like, speak to me like I'm a human. Not like you're writing the next epic. Thank you, Walter. Hear me out. RWBY in the Jujutsu Kaisen style? I haven't watched it. I hear it's good, though. It won, like, Anime of the Year, so it's gotta be good. Thank you again. Insert creative name here. You inspired me to make my own RWBY story. Hell yes. Thank you so much for your RWBY content. That's all I can hope for, is to just inspire each other. Thank you, Sushi. Thank you, Sushi. Slushy. Thank you, Slushy. Two things. Do you think a studio buying the RWBY IP would pick up where they left off or readapt? Also, Trout? Yeah, Trout, we're really talking about Trout Proud here. Yeah, the biggest thing is, like, I'm glad I can inspire you. So many things inspire me. Like, Dust Queen inspired me. Cal, Murder of Birds, Celtic Phoenix, Fat Man Falling, they all inspired me. Evermorrow has inspired me. I started working on my own RWBY AU. There's so many things that inspire me. And so I hope, like, knowing that I can inspire others is just as awesome. That's the biggest thing that I hope we can take away, is we'll just continue to, like, inspire each other to do more things and to be cool and continue. Whether RWBY keeps going or not, we will keep going. The fan base, we can do that. We will have our own AUs, our coffee shop AUs, our grimdark AUs, our own fan fictions, our fan comics, our stories, our ideas, our OCs, and everything. Hey, Phoenix! Oh, what? What, you want to, are you trying to message me on Discord? Hold up. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. All my stuff is in weird spots. How do I get you here? Help. he writes knocks on door vigorously. I gotta open up Discord. Give me a second. Think you will. Wherever RWBY ends up, I feel like it could benefit from an SAO progressive style soft reboot that fleshes out unexplored portions of the existing story. Yes. Yes, I do agree. Thank you, Alex James. The movie is the final season of Red vs. Blue. Oh, that's what they mean. Why call it a movie? That makes no sense. Alright, Phoenix, I'm opening Discord. How do I get your voice in here? Help me out. I haven't done this before. It's lagging a lot. I don't know if I'll be able to make it work because it's like chugging. If I just enter a call with you, will your voice, like show up here? Thank you, Fire Rose. I wanted a good RWBY game. I know this is an off-topic question, but what sort of RWBY game would you want? A Hyundai Third Impact type of game or what? I don't know what that is. Maybe. Something like an MMO is what I always wanted. Hold up. Let me... Phoenix, do you hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay, I can hear you. Okay, does anyone hear Celtic Phoenix's voice? Thank you, Sky Slasher. I think DB is going to be in a better state with RT's shutdown since they'll just get a new producer and a bigger budget. I don't know, maybe. I don't know if they guarantee a bigger budget. Maybe they could do their own, like, sponsorships and things. I'm using OBS. Audio output capture? Is that what I'm looking for? Okay. And... okay.
Desktop audio. Or maybe like what headphones you're using, something like that.
Yeah, headphone to... yeah, so it should be my headphones? Is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Did that work?
Let us pray.
Let us know if you hear Phoenix. We're figuring this out.
Testing.
They can hear you.
I hear me.
Okay.
All right, we're in. All right, this is wild. I wake up and I'm just reading some stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I'll check the Tundra just for a little bit, and like as I'm going to complain about someone accidentally posting something lewd in general, obviously to get them to remove it. Someone posts this, and I'm like, wait, hold up. All right, the entire day just stopped.
Mm-hmm. I was in the middle of editing like something important, and I was like, I need to stop right now. This is happening right now.
Sadly, I caught I caught like nothing of your stream because I was in the middle of exercising. Then I saw you were streaming. I said, hey, wait, 20 minutes. I gotta shower up. I'll be right out. You obviously didn't see that.
It was crazy. I just happened to see the tweet like a minute after it went out that Roosterteeth was shut down. Like I was right like on top of it, and I'm like, what? I can't believe, and then everything popped off.
It is absolutely insane what is happening. Like, and although I caught what I did manage to catch your stream, just like as I got on here scrambling to try and get in here, was very much true that RWBY isn't over. Yeah, and that's like the thing that people need to really take into mind is that RWBY isn't finished. It's just possibly changing hands. I nothing confirmed yet. I have feelers reaching out. I'm trying to at least get my finger in that pie somehow. I don't have anything confirmed. Nothing absolutely solid at all. but there are voices that I'm hearing, and I'm pretty sure they're not fake. I'm pretty sure they're not schizophrenia. So I have some small ember of hope that maybe I could, or someone close to me can get a hand on it. So,
At
but
the
that said,
very
like,
least, fixing Ruby's gonna finish the story.
yes, we're definitely going to finish through. Unless I get the rights. If I get the rights, I might just go full reboot and just start at the beginning with fixing RWBY as the base plate. I don't know how people would respond to that though. That'd be like a very dangerous proposition.
I wouldn't recommend it. I would say finish it first and then do like a reboot thing. Not a reboot, but like go back and do like your own spin-off concept to do something different. And maybe like do a reboot spin-off. Who knows?
Yeah, it's wild. The writing's been on the wall for Rooster Teeth for so long at this rate.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's surprising, but it's not surprising. Like we all saw this happening.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy to equate this, where it's like, it's not like watching something in slow motion because you kind of have an idea of when it's going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like falling out of a plane backwards. You know you're going to hit the ground, but you just don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah. It's like, and it sucks because, like, a part of me, I wanted to be so hopeful. Like, I was like, I'm gonna rewatch all of RWBY, and we can all watch it together, and maybe all of us watching with the ad revenue will help, like, get them that last push they need to, like, really go the distance and finish, like, get Volume 10 off the ground. And then here we are.
Well, I know some interesting tidbits of coming out of that little whatchamacallit, that article that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And like one thing that stood out was like, you know, Rooster Teeth has barely ever been I don't think ever been profitable. No, RTX has never been profitable.
Mm-hmm. They said that, yeah.
But other things have been said to the effect that like Rooster Teeth has like always been in the red. It has never been like genuinely profitable since Warner Brothers took it.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it's like, wow, and you guys didn't try to steer out of whatever you were doing?
I've been talking about, like, they've had such bad decisions marketing-wise that I don't get. Real quick, thank you, Slushy, Celtic X Critter, the greatest crossover since RWBY X Justice League.
If you want more of us crossing over, she's a part of a regular podcast now happening over on my channel, Team Jacked.
Yeah.
And just yesterday we did a live stream ranking the Gen 1 Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. We had Tom Haran on. Of Six Slick Productions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go over there, check that stuff out. But for now, stay here and talk about Rooster Teeth.
Get over it. Like, Also, thank you, Renegade 102. I guess it won't be possible now, but how would you feel about RWBY being finished as an audiobook? I was mentioning this on Monday. RWBY just works best as a visual medium. I think a comic would be the way to go, if anything.
Yeah, was it a visual novel? I'm sorry, my brain, like, I woke up, I wake up and I take like 3 hours to get my brain processing. That's why I don't typically do things before 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's because you're a phoenix. So, you gotta like be reborn from the ashes.
It's a whole process, man. I want to see that Deaderek sort of what it means to wake up as Phoenix constantly. Like, he's rebirthing every morning.
And thank you, Sharkman. Of course, I got into RWBY just as RT dies. Now I'm drafting an AU for the show I haven't watched. Dang. That's so... Yeah. It's crazy. Because Volume 9 reached some new people. But...
Yeah.
It's so tough. Like, your example of falling out of a plane backwards is so accurate, I feel like. You know?
It's weird for me because I've been in the Rooster Teeth fandom since near the beginning. Like, I got in during the middle of Rooster Teeth of Red vs. Blue season 3.
Dang, that's early.
I have been there for it because my first exposure to it was the Halo art book where they mentioned they had like a 1-page like article in the back. Near the back of the book, talking about they had a bunch of like articles in the back about the fandom that had blown up around Halo. It's one of the things I really appreciate about like early Halo, a lot of early Bungie, or I guess it's not early Bungie, but like that era of Bungie and early Rooster Teeth, is that there's a lot of fan love, a lot of fan appreciation and highlighting, and they had a full page on Rooster Teeth talking about Red versus Blue and the wacky things they did and how they utilized the mechanics of Halo to make their series and all the goofy stuff that goes on with that. And I remember every single day I would manually input the HTML because I didn't understand how search engines worked at the time. I would manually input the full HTML that was written out in the paper because they printed the HTML in the actual book. I remember typing it out verbatim to get to Rooster Teeth's homepage and wait patiently every single day to see if they had gotten a new episode out because I was just hooked.
I was thinking about yesterday. I was thinking about this like freaking yesterday. There was some fan content thing. It was a fan thing for Red versus Blue to like make a music video type deal or something. And this one guy, he just went completely ham with it. And I remember at the end he does this song with that Donut sings. And he was like in like these short shorts and had like all his friends helping him and had so much like too much quality production. He was like a college kid. And I remember that was one of the first things that made me think I should watch Red vs. Blue. Because I was watching RWBY and I was watching a bunch of Achievement Hunter. But like, yeah. And then I binged all of Red vs. Blue like a month later. It was crazy.
Oh man. It's the end of an era. Like it's been so fundamental to my life. Rooster Teeth has almost always been there, and having it not be, even in its decrepit state, it's like decaying state, which I don't like. It's the accurate way to describe it, and I don't like describing it that way, but that's true. It's Rooster Teeth has been slowly rotting away day after day, and it's been one of the most painful experiences of my life to watch this company that I revered and loved for so long and still do to many regards just waste away. It's like watching a loved one die slowly in a coma.
And it's like, and it's sad because like it's this, you remember how it was. And I think like when Bernie left, when all the big names started leaving, that was when like it first started to hurt, you know? You just remember how it used to be. Thank you, Sky Slasher. RWBY is going to be just another write-off for taxes. That would super suck, but not unsurprising from Warner Brothers.
Lucifer and Associates, just for another super chat. Casey Lee Williams just found out RT was closing by Twitter. The main singer of their most profitable show finds out she might be out of a job by tweet. That's a little extreme. She has a job. She's a professional musician. She's fine. But like that is huge.
That keeps like happening, where companies are just announcing things on Twitter, and that's how like people like the whole Niji Sanji stuff that's going on in that VTuber sphere. Like that all happened on Twitter. What the hell? It's crazy. I can't even like process it. Like, I thought, I was reading this article, and I was like, I have to live stream, because immediately I was overwhelmed, and I'm like, I need to get my thoughts out there, and I have too many thoughts.
I'm like, I want to have thoughts, but like, I'm like stuck in shock.
Like, a part of me, like, I was talking earlier, and I was like, am I awake? Did I pass out? Like, my mouth is moving. The voice is coming out, but am I actually doing this, or am I asleep?
Oh, man.
I'm gonna...
Someone tell me we're in a vicious barrier. I can get us out.
I'm gonna keep reading the rest of this Deadline article. Let's see the next section that they had. Yeah, to those who come first. Despite passing through many corporate owners, Rooster Teeth transcended a media business and was a dynamic movement that shaped the bond between communities, creators, and storytelling. Our founders didn't have a blueprint for a media empire, but they got close to building one alongside a community that fueled its remarkable growth. In its early days, RT relied on community sponsorship through time, dollars, and unwavering passion. Volunteers evolved into staff, and the snowball effect grew, resulting in new relationships, marriages, births, and shared experiences that have changed lives. That's true. Like, I remember hearing that Jordan Spears was just a fan to begin with.
I remember I remember there was this huge moment where two fans of RVB were cosplaying in full Mjolnir Halo armor. Like they were cosplaying. I can't remember which characters it was, but they proposed like right in front of the RT staff. Like I remember that being huge early on in like RTX history, and it's like that's like the fundamental stuff that shaped it. And this article is right. Yeah, that is what Rooster Teeth was built by. That is what formed Rooster Teeth, and they have so far slipped away from it. Like they have made a token hand at it ever since like the buyouts.
Yeah.
But they haven't really been about the fans since those buyouts.
I think it's I want to blame Warner Brothers because they never understood the internet sphere. So having that hand on the pulse of what the fandom is saying and doing just never really translated into their corporate mindset.
If I were at Rooster Teeth and I had been running this successful business and they started coming in with, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, I'd be like, no, stop. I'm glad that you've purchased us. I'm glad that you think you're in charge, but we understand how our business works. Let us do our thing, and we'll make you profit. And I don't doubt that someone at Rooster Teeth probably tried to say that, and they got ousted. Like I want to have hope that at least someone at Rooster Teeth realized this is going to be the death of the company. And is Matt still with the company? Is Matt still at the head?
I don't think so. I think he left a while ago, actually. I think he left before Bernie, didn't he?
No. Matt Hullum, I think, was one of the last mainstays.
I'm pretty sure he's not around anymore. But I'm not sure.
Matt Hullum. Hullum voice Sarge. He directed Laser Team.
Laser Team.
That was a poor choice on theirs. He's returning as director of RVB's final season, with Burns also returning as a writer. But it's not saying anything about his, because he was years active, 1997 to present. Occupation: Chief Content Officer of Rooster Teeth. Yeah, he's still there.
Okay. He doesn't appear in any videos or anything.
Oh, he's no longer a face, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I'm going to keep going with this article. This next section is labeled, To Trailblazing Content Creation. Our approach to content creation on emerging platforms paved the way for new media models. We inspired generations of creators across streaming, machinima, animation, let's plays, merch drops, touring, podcasting, and more. Companies like GameStop, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and TikTok asked us to collaborate with them in their earliest days because we set a standard for what a digital-first brand could be. We boldly took our content beyond screens and into community-driven experiences.
And then you promptly abandoned it the minute you got corporate.
Yeah, I'm like, that all sounds really nice and fanciful, but where are you now? Where's all
except for the GameStop thing. The GameStop one is just kind of feels dirty after all this time.
To a changing...
Wait, is GameStop still alive?
It is. Technically, it is. People got stocks. People got stocks in them as a meme, and then their stocks did really well, so now they're still around.
I remember that, and then they changed the rules for stocks so that people couldn't short stocks anymore. Because we, the elite, construct the stocks, we're fine. But the minute the plebeians decide to organize and short the stocks, well, now it's illegal.
Yep. Thank you, Ranger. This kind of inspires me to write my own RWBY AU. Death is not always an end, but a chance for a new beginning. Exactly. And I feel like I was mentioning this before, I feel like as a community, we're really hitting our stride with AU stuff now. Fixing RWBY has been around for forever, but now we're getting, Dust Queen and Evermorrow, and all these things are happening, and I think we, as a community, is really starting to, embrace the fanfiction AU content creation element of RWBY more than ever.
Well, that was always the strongest element of RWBY, and it was the thing that I was going to go to them and be like, hey, look, I want to write RWBY books. Look how popular the fanfiction is. It's one... in the span, people don't realize how popular RWBY was on fanfiction.net. All right, let me load up fanfiction.net here. It takes a minute because it needs to verify I'm human. I am in fact a phoenix, but I'll take the insult in stride. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It is 16th out of all anime and manga on fanfiction.net. When you consider it is contending against shows and manga like Death Note, Gundam Wing, One Piece, Sailor Moon, Digimon, FMA, DBZ, Yu-Gi-Oh, Fairy Tail, Bleach, Hetalia, Inuyasha, Naruto, those are the ones above it. Below it are Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Cardcaptor Sakura, Yu Yu Hakusho, and like it is battling with giants in the fanfiction, and it is staying strong against giants. It has been there since like I want to say the second volume. It's been at this place. Yeah. It has been popular.
It's just, it leads itself so well to fan-made content. It's such a great world. Like, and going to Archive of Our Own, if that's your preferred fanfiction spot, I can't see, like, rankings like that, but there's over 1,932 pages. There's 38,635 different individual works, and they're being updated, like, today. Like, they're still posting new ones today.
It's 40,600 works. And the reason I went to fanfiction.net is that fanfiction.net, around the time RWBY's release, was still sort of the primary fanfiction site, and then AO3 has slowly eaten up the space. But, Moga, actually, I think it's really cool because it's good competition.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's lended itself so well. One of the visions I had was I had this grand idea of getting onto Roosterteeth's staff at one point and writing for RWBY before RWBY was even a glimmer in my eye.
I think we all
in fact,
have. Yeah, we've all been there.
But I thought the coolest way to end RWBY would actually be to get the fandoms involved and like make it like the finale a multiversal event where you get the biggest AUs that writers have been, writing for ages in the RWBY fandom together, and you have like this huge brawl at the very end. Like that's just all these different versions of RWBY, all these different versions of Weiss and Yang and Blake running around, kicking ass, taking names.
Hell yeah.
I think that would have been awesome as a way to end the series.
On that note, similarly, the Epic Kyo, thank you so much for $5. Don't know if someone has said this, but we should buy RWBY and give it to Celtic Phoenix and make FRUBY canon, lol. BTW, I love both your guys' content. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyo, and also working on it. I'm scrambling. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm trying to find my route to that.
So, it's just a lot. I don't even, know, man. Because they're going to stream tomorrow. They said they're streaming tomorrow to answer questions. So, and a lot of it's just, like we don't know what's going to happen from here on out.
Well, didn't they at one point say something like due to changing... Oh, they did say something kind of scummy.
They did. This. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning. It was like there's been shifts in consumers' perspective on streaming platforms and stuff, and I'm like, that's you shifting the blame. Come on.
Yeah, that's you. It's your fault that we're going under, not our fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way to word that, I think Twilight in the sketchy hunt, not sketchy. It was in the RWBY discussion in the Tundra, was like the way you would have worded that to be not scummy is. We failed to adapt to changing market demand. Like that's the way you want to phrase it. It's like, the failure is on us for not realizing where the money was going. And it's ironic because you wouldn't need to shift market demand. You just needed to keep on the path that you were going before you got corporate.
Look,
that's all you needed to do.
I was mentioning earlier, get a Patreon, get sponsorships. You're making a product. Your job as a producer is to make a product that consumers want to buy. If they're not buying it, you need to figure out why. And the crazy thing is, Rooster Teeth's fanbase is so, connected to Rooster Teeth. They tweet out their ugly merch, and everyone's like, we don't want this merch. This is ugly. This is what we do want. And they just ignore it. So it's not us having shifts in consumer mindsets. It's we are telling you exactly what we want, and you're not doing it.
I do have to wonder partly about that is that, if they can't do the merch that's suddenly suggested to them because of fears of copyright stuff. It's part of that corporate like idea. Is like the in a corporate setting, it's like, well, this fan has obviously put up this like mock-up of a t-shirt that they want made, and everyone seems to like it, but we can't make that shirt now because then we'll get sued for copyright. In the olden days of Rooster Teeth, what they would do is reach out to that user and be like, hey, do you mind if we co-op, if we work with you on this design? It's like, we'll take the design, we'll give you 10% of the profits or something like that. Like that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Is
in fact,
reach out,
I know for a fact people would be more than happy to volunteer. Like not even like getting a profit off of it. Like if like some people were like they used to have like make a design for a t-shirt. You won't get any money off of it, but your volunteer work would be appreciated, and that would people would do that. People would 100% do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Soft Crunch. I beg for people to look up RWBY henceforward. I started to read it. It was a lot. It was emotional.
It is a lot, and my only issue with it is Kuma has like moved on to doing actual other things. So, like, actually, I think Kuma got hired on to do some of the RWBY manga, and she hasn't finished Henceforward. Henceforward hasn't been updated in years, and it's really annoying because I really liked it, but I'm so far evolved in my RWBY fandom at this point that I don't know if I could go back to it.
Yeah, other than like finding specific images, like there's a couple of like classic, iconic panels that I remember really vividly. And then also thank you, Scarlet Phoenix. I wonder what Twins will think of this. I don't know. Twins hasn't watched RWBY. She never watched Volume 9. She probably will be shocked, but ultimately indifferent. If I had to guess. Let me continue reading this Deadline article. This next section is called To a Changing Industry. Every story reaches its final pages. Rooster Teeth's closure isn't merely an end, it reflects broader business dynamics. Monetization shifts, platform algorithms, advertising challenges, and the ebb and flow of patronage. All of these converging factors have led to many All these converging factors have led to many closures in the industry. While we learn about updates on programming day by day, we will share our plans for shows, franchises, partnerships, and merch soon, and share those updates with teams internally and with the community on roosterteeth.com. I like hearing that. I wish they would have been doing that sooner.
Yeah, it's like, what, you guys hadn't already been doing that? Why are you only doing it now? A
lot of radio silence from them before. I'm also wondering what's going to happen with Rooster Teeth's website. Is it going to...
Oh my god. Like, theoretically, if Rooster Teeth, if the RT website goes down, where do we watch RWBY legally?
Yeah, like, I was thinking, like, I have all the episodes saved, so, like, but... I don't know. That's crazy. There's so much content on their site, too. Thank you, Tori Miller, for RWBY, if I'm being honest. I don't hate AUs. They are cool and interesting, but since it's not the official thing for me, I can never really connect with it. Like, it's relatable, but weird for me. I get it. I understand, but I think it's fun. AUs are just for good fun.
Fine. You're wrong, but it's fine.
I mean, I'm a big old sucker for, like, coffee shop AUs, honestly. Like the world's not gonna end AUs.
Yeah, no, I love, like, one of the things I can tell you right now that I'm really into is My Hero Academia AUs that are all kind of, like, wild premises. It's like, what if someone else had One for All? Which, I'm not the biggest fan of that one. I like Deku having it, but, like, there are some fun ones where he just doesn't get it and he has to be a quirkless hero. Those are fun. What if Toga was adopted by the Midoriyas? And those actually turn out to be freaking awesome because, like, as much as I end up shipping Toga, Deku, and Ochako together, I actually really like that triplet. But Izuku and Himiko being siblings actually has its own brand of gremlin energy that I adore.
When you like a specific AU scenario so much that you, like, in your heart change canon relationships.
Yes.
So many Fire Emblem characters. I'm like, no, you two are brother and sister now. Yeah, with Rooster Teeth's website, I don't know, because, like, Camp is currently airing on there. And we're supposed to get RWBY Beyond, and they said they were going to continue to drop the things that have been announced. But I don't know if this will, like, shake up production a whole lot I don't know. Alright, and then this is the last paragraph of this Deadline article I've been reading. It's titled, "To Our Final Season. Though not intentional, it's only appropriate that our last season of Red vs. Blue coincides with us navigating this closure together. Our legacy is not just a collection of content, but a history of pixels burned into our screens, minds, and hearts. Roosterteeth has made an indelible mark on the media industry, and we should be so proud of the countless ways we pioneered a business, connecting creators and content with a dedicated community. With respect, gratitude, and sincere appreciation, Jordan Levin." And thank you, Pink Glassfish. A little off topic, but I wanted to say that I love your podcasts with Allison and twins. Blake's shoes consuming her will never not make me laugh. Thank you. That was, yeah, we needed to go to Vacuo so we could watch Blake's shoes just consume all of her body. So, I think we'll get most of our information tomorrow, you know?
Oh god, another day of streaming.
I know, I can't
tired.
keep doing this. I probably won't live stream tomorrow. I have other things I need to do.
I like, after yesterday's podcast, I was just like, I turned it off. I went to go make myself a sandwich. Good sandwich.
Nice.
But like, I sat down, I was eating, I was watching someone play through Final Fantasy Rebirth, and I'm just like, I should be doing things. I have work I need to get done. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do anything for the rest of this day. I'm so tired.
My throat, you can hear it. My throat's so sore. I need to record my other podcast later tonight.
Oh man, like I have to talk with some sketchy huntsmans tonight, which we were going to be talking about some just fun little side project that we're going to be working on. But I imagine now the entire conversation is just going to be like, how do we proceed moving forward? Because, I mean, for the record, fixing RWBY is not ending anytime soon. Twitter is correct. I swore that I would see RWBY down to the end. And I mean, that was back when people were like, if RWBY were to die. I think that was like back in like volume 5, someone asked me that. And I made the declaration, no, I'm with this to the end. For better or worse, for the sake of the danger to my health it might pose, I'm trying to stick to it. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to do it. But just like how we go forward is going to be completely different, because now it's like, does that mean volume 10 is off the table now? Like, how long until we get a volume 10? Where does it go? So yeah, fixing RWBY, that's where it's going to stay for now. At
that point, it's just the Wild West, I guess. You just do whatever you need to wrap the story up however you want to, I guess. Yep. RWBY could still keep going. We're putting the cart before the horse a little bit, but now, as content creators whose, like, main focus of our channels is RWBY related, we all are going into, like, panic mode now. To be like, what's happening? What do we do? How do I finish our story? Thank you, Niall Cooper. I hope I said that right. I sincerely hope Fuckface stays safe, the podcast, and their takeover of LP with regulation. Gameplay was a great return to form. They truly were the last good seed falling from a dying tree. I never watched any of Fuckface. I know it's Gavin and Jeff. They said in that article that their podcast teams were staying the same, so that I'm not entirely sure.
I was gonna say, like, podcasts have very little overhead, all things considered, so like I don't imagine that's gonna shift. I know they have higher production costs for their podcasts because they have like those sets and everything, but all the same, I don't think it's anywhere near as high as it would be for other shows, because you don't have to script anything. You don't have to, like, reshoot anything. It's all just live and edited. That's it.
Yeah, and they have so many, like, high-quality microphones, and, like, like you said, their sets are surprisingly very well made. Alright, I think this stream it's basically over. I can't think of anything else I need to say other than processing.
It's literally just been absolute process.
I was editing. I was gonna have lunch.
I was gonna work on my own original IP, and it's like now I might be one of the few stewards left to carry on the RWBY IP itself, and I'm like, that is suddenly a weight on my shoulders that I didn't necessarily ask for, but I guess I'm gonna have to bear it now. And I know it's like even worse because half the fandom hates me for it.
I know. Like whatever happens from here moving forward, not everyone will be happy. I mean, everyone never is, but whatever options happens with RWBY, some people are going to be upset that it's too different, and some people are going to be upset that it's too much the same. I don't know. We just have to wait for tomorrow. Let's not panic. Let's do that. Because we have to wait for tomorrow to get all their answers when they do their own live stream. Roosterteeth is done. But their IPs still live. Yeah, funeral stream for RT.
I was going to say, how about the opposite? How about we just all go full panic and get it out of our system? How does that sound? Everyone just start panicking. Flail your arms, start rushing around, hug your loved ones.
I am the angel on your shoulder. Phoenix is the devil. And I'm like, don't panic. And he's like, panic!
Yeah, everyone panic! I mean, it fits to get the whole fire motif going on.
Thank you, Doodly Ding Dong TikTok. I got into RWBY Run Volume 6, learning more about RT. I got into Camp. We loved those shows. Now it feels empty seeing these shows now. I remember, I used to watch their, shorts. Their, skits all the time. I was thinking about 10 Little Roosters the other day. I used to love everything Roosterteeth, and now I can't even be bothered. And thank you, the GoldenEye Fox. I can't finish the story if the story doesn't get an ending, which sucks. Again, your videos got me back into RWBY after I quit after Volume 4, as well as the weekly B streams on Celtic's channel. Hell yeah. Oh, right, when we get back to talking about the bees, we're gonna have
it's gonna be a whole, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the bees killed Roosterteeth. I can't believe it.
We've been here.
No, for the record, that was facetious. I'm not going to go down for that voice clip.
We've been here rewatching the show, talking about it nonstop. We've been treading water for so long, so hard, and now it's all just sinking around us.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call stream here. I guess I'm thirsty and hungry. I have other things to do. I just needed to read that article live to get all my thoughts out.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for having me on. I know it was short notice, and I was literally had to do last minute complete maintenance to get me on here, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for.
I need someone to vent this with, and I'm like, I don't know how to process this.
That's why I went live because I'm like, I could do this quietly by myself, but I know I'll just be sitting there on my phone typing a million things, and I'm like, I gotta speak. Okay, so yeah, thanks for random impromptu stream, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Let's wait to see what they have to say tomorrow, because they're gonna have a big Q&A thing. I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. There's probably also links on Twitter and stuff if you have questions and concerns where you can direct those to. I think it's a link to the official Roosterteeth website somewhere. Don't harass anyone who is an employee at Roosterteeth.
Oh, I just realized I was gonna reach out to Miles Luna and see if I could ask him for an interview, just get to have a nice conversation with him, because I would love to talk with the guy. And I realize now I can't do that now. No. Because he's gonna think it's about Rooster Teeth shutting down, and it's that's not what I want to interview you about.
It's damn it. Oh. Yeah, don't go to the employees at Rooster Teeth and try to be goad them and be ha ha, it's over. Or don't be like that. This is a tough time for everybody. So be cool. Alright. Thanks for stream. I'm scheduled to stream again on Monday. we'll watch Volume 3 together.
And be sad.
Oh, man. All right, thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.